Along to our unofficial off-tube studio commentary of this Group B encounter at World Cup 2022 in Qatar. Then Wales taking on Iran in what is a big game for both of these sides. Wales from the 1-1 draw against the USA. They know that a victory would put them top of the pool. That's with England taking on the USA later on this evening, 7 p.m. That one gets underway. And as for Iran, they had the 6-2 thumping at the hands of the Three Lions, so they know that another defeat would not rule them out of the tournament yet, but it effectively would, or it would rule them out of the tournament defeat, excuse me. Just looking at the notes, looking at Rob to the side of me, who is just nodding his head at that. So yeah, they need to avoid defeat if they want to stay in the competition, but I think a victory is needed for both of these sides, really, in terms of their hopes of getting through. Looking at the team news for this one then, and the Dragons have made just one change from that 1-1 draw against the USA. Kiefer Moore, who impressed coming on as a sub, well, he starts this game in place of Dan James, who he replaced in that match against the Stars and Stripes. As for Iran, it's 5 changes that they have made, so the head coach ringing the changes. One of those is the goalkeeper. He, of course, picked up a concussion, or a suspected concussion, and a broken nose in that defeat to England, so he's replaced in between the sticks by Hossein Hosseini. There's also 4 changes outfield. Cheshmi, Maharami, Karimi and Yahan Baksh, they drop out. Rezain, Ezat Olahi, Golizada and Azmoun come into the starting 11. Interesting that Azmoun's in there. He's got a good record for his country, and he goes up top alongside Taremi, who got the brace against England. Minute and a half gone then, still 0-0. Wales were in their all-red kit going from left to right in this opening 45. Iran in their white kit with the little sort of green and red trim on it. But the lineup's in full for you. Wayne Hennessy in goal for Wales. Ben Davies, Joe Roden and Chris Mepham at the back. It could be a sort of a midfield 5, or it could be a midfield 4. You got Nico Williams and Connor Roberts as the left and right wing backs respectively. Aaron Ramsey and Ethan Ampadu then in midfield, with I think Harry Wilson could push a bit further up out on the left hand side. Gareth Bale on the right with Kiefer Moore through the middle. As Wales are coming forward now, edge of the area, right footed shot comes in, and that one's curled over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Nico Williams with the effort there. As for Iran, looks like it's going to be a 4-4-2 for them, with Hosseini in goal, then Milad Mohammadi, Majid Hosseini, Morteza, Purulaganji and Ramin Rezain as a back 4. You have Ahsan Haji Safi on the left, Sabid Ezatolahi and Ahmed Nuralahi in midfield, or in the centre midfield roles, with Ali Golizada on the right side, and then Mehdi Taremi and Sada Azmoun as a top 2. Lively start to the game. Wales with the opening sort of half chance there, but how are you seeing this one panning out? I mean, Wales, everyone's saying that they'll win. I'm not too sure. Iran weren't great against England, but they had a little bit of threat, and Wales, they were poor in the first 45 against the USA before hitting back with a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to work out how Iran are going to play because, as I say, 6-2 is a bit of a thumping, and obviously they looked frail at the back, didn't they? England scored 6, might have had others. The woodwork was struck. Looked like they might struggle from set pieces, and maybe that's one of the reasons why Kiefer Moore was brought in. I mean, obviously he made a difference against America, but that was a game of 2 halves, and so it's difficult to know what to expect. I think Wales are favourites because you'd just expect them. They've got that little bit of star quality maybe in Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey. I know perhaps not quite at the peak of their powers, but you would think they would get into an Iranian side. So I think it just depends on how Iran are going to approach this game, because they lose, they're out. Obviously a draw, they're still in it, but a defeat and they're out. Are they going to go full-blooded for the winners? A ball over the top, just a little bit too much on, it's going to bounce through to Hennessy. So I think a lot depends on Iran's approach. I think Wales can play either way. They've already had a shot, and it wasn't exactly hard getting that shot, so I think they're going to cause Iran problems, and we'll see how brave Iran are, knowing that defeat spells the end of their tournament. Yeah,
I do like Carlos Queiroz going for the 2 up top for Iran. I mean, you look at Azmoun and look at Taremi as well. There's a bit of defending to do here by Wales. A diving header back towards the goalkeeper then by Mepham to Hennessy. But 71 international goals between Taremi and Azmoun, 30 for Taremi from 61 appearances, now 62 caps with this today, and Azmoun 41 goals from what is his 67th cap today. So they're both got an eye for goal. Taremi plays his football for Porto domestically, and Azmoun for Bayer Leverkusen, so they're both playing in good European leagues as well. It's just what service they can get towards them from the players in behind as Wales have possession midway through their own half as pass nearly gets away then from Ampadu midfield. Does well though, then tries to swing it down the left-hand side, but it's an easy interception from Rezaïd, one of the 5 changes made by Iran for this game, and just holding possession inside his own defensive third, back in towards Purulaganji, who, dearie me, Hosseini, it's a very risky short pass out then from inside his own 6-yard box. Iran trying to play it out, eventually Hosseini plays a long ball downfield, and trying to get on the end of that one is Azmoun, does well, knocks it back towards Ezat Talahi now as he comes forward down this left-hand side as Mohammadi joins the attack now. The left-back then delivers a good-looking ball towards a far post, and it's just a little bit too much. It'll be picked up though by Rezaïd on the right-hand side now. He delivers one into the area, and again it's a really good header up and away. Wales clear the lines. It'll be a throw for Iran down this left-hand side of the field, but I mean, 2 decent deliveries into the box there. The best of those coming from Rezaïd now as they take this throw, but they've just, well, made a bit of a mess of that one actually. Wales have it back. They try and chip it up further forward, looking for Moore, who does well to sort of play a target man role. Now Wales coming forward themselves. It's Ampadu striding over halfway, still trying to come forward. His attempted through ball is blocked away and Iran have possession back. But I mean, that was positive then from Iran then, trying to get him down either flank.
Yeah, I mean, it's good balls in as well. I mean, the worry there from an Iranian viewpoint is I didn't really think they threatened to win the header. Obviously, they were up against 3 central defenders, and I thought Wales defended it pretty well. But it's encouraging because they created the space to get that ball in, and it wasn't just hit and hope. It was into good areas. And obviously, if they continue to do that, they might get half a chance. They're on the attack once again. On the side, a shot comes in from Azmoun. Slightly mishit it actually, and it's dribbled through to Hennessy. He was offside from the original play, but because Taremi took a touch, I don't know whether he'd got back onside. But it made it promising. They talked about they obviously need to avoid defeat, but it looks like they're trying to go for the win. But obviously that might leave them exposed to the back. We haven't really seen Wales get going yet. Gareth Bale's not featured. Kiefer Moore at the moment is on the left flank. It's not where they really want him to be, and they want him in the middle, because if Wales are putting in the balls that Iran put in moments ago, then Kiefer Moore's got a very good chance of scoring. But what is it, 7.5 minutes gone? You'd probably be more encouraged by Iran's start.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think Iran have started well. They're on the front foot on a few occasions, but yeah, Gareth Bale then, I mean, he was kept relatively quiet in that game against the USA, was Gareth Bale, and the penalty, he won it. It was a rash challenge, and then he converts the spot kick as well. But apart from that, he didn't do great. I mean, Wales, for the first 45 minutes, they were second best against the Stars and Stripes. I think USA, just their energy levels dropped a little bit, and in Kiefer Moore, the more physicality Kiefer Moore brought did certainly help, but I don't think Iran are going to be too bothered by that physical presence of Moore as they come forward down the right here now. Is maybe a chance to put this ball into the box. Short one towards the area, looking for Azmoun, then he sort of steps over it, looking for Taremi with a 1-2, but it's into the arms of Hennessy. And I mean, it's neat play. Azmoun and Taremi are linking up quite well. They've played many times together on the international stage, and I don't think this is going to be as easy for Wales as maybe some people thought coming into it. I think they were just slightly odds against. I mean, they were the favourites, Wales, but only marginally.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably have Wales favourites, as I say, but I mean, the first goal for me is going to be key, because if Iran concede it, so having been bid thumped 6-2, knowing defeat is end of the tournament, it could be game over. I don't think Wales are in a rush to play, attacking football. If the chance comes, they will. But I don't think they're desperate to do it. So it's whether Iran can break Wales down. They're looking lively up front, but Hennessy hasn't been tested yet. Here come Wales through Ramsey. Ball in is cleared away, partially at least. I think that first goal definitely crucial. You say it for so many games of football, don't you? But I think Iran's heads could go down. But they're looking the more enterprising, the more attacking at the moment. But as I say, they haven't tested Hennessy really. There was that shot from 20 plus yards, but it was pretty simple. So far, Wales are playing within themselves.
Yeah, you just wonder at the minute, Wales, where's the creativity from midfield? Who's picking out the passes? The service, and Aaron Ramsey's played little. He's had his injury problems leading into the World Cup, before the World Cup, and plays his club football for Nice, but like I said, hasn't played huge amounts of times for the Liga 1 outfit. And Ethan Ampadu playing in midfield, he plays in defence as well, so he's not really that creative spark, you'd feel. So they need to try and use the width that they have with Nico Williams and Connor Roberts, but those two players yet to really get involved. Williams did have that early effort, around 20 yards, which he curled harmlessly over in the end, but just over 10 minutes gone 0-0 as Roberts throws one inside the Burnley man. It's back towards the feet then of Ampadu, now with Mepham back inside as the Dragons just patiently trying to work their way forward. Midway through their own half at the moment though. Duran just happy to allow Wales to have possession where it is at the moment. This is the first of 4 commentaries that we have available for you today. Another busy day in the World Cup and the second round of group matches. It's 1 p.m. It's Qatar taking on Senegal, the host nation trying to bounce back from their defeat to Ecuador. Senegal trying to bounce back from the defeat to the Netherlands. And then the Netherlands at 4 p.m. take on Ecuador in the other game in that match. Other game in that group. And then at 7 p.m. England against the USA as Wales trying to come forward down the right. Attempted cross into the box is blocked away. There was half appeals for a handball, but nothing given by the official as Wales have it midway through Iran's half in the centre of the park. It's now the before then and Davies who's joined the attack. Now a whipped in ball from the right hand side. Oh, and there's a little foot that's poked out by Kiefer Moore. It's a great save, reaction save by Hosseini, and then Moore's gone down and he's still down in the 6-yard box. It's been smashed out of play and the referee will now blow so he can receive some attention, but Moore, well, he just launched himself at that one, got good contact on it. Smart save by Hosseini, but this is bad news for Wales because he could have potentially injured himself here.
Yeah, the foot came out from Hosseini trying to block the shot, but of course he ended up, he's not kicked him in the sense that he's gone to volley the ball and kicked Kiefer Moore's head, but the foot was there to block, and because he was sliding in, Moore's just taken a boot in the face. But I mean, I was just thinking the previous attack to that, why were they trying to work the triangles down the right hand side? They've got Kiefer Moore in the middle, they played it short, ended up going back to the middle. I'm thinking, just test out this Iran side. Of course it came back out to Roberts on the right side, good ball in. I'd have to say the marking was terrible. Kiefer Moore, he's the front man. I mean, Bale's not playing so far. All you have to worry about is Kiefer Moore. It's a free shot from 6-7 yards out, bang in front of the middle of the goal, slow to get across. They didn't cut out the cross, they're not marking the man in the middle. That would be a worry for Iran. Great chance for Wales, and they will just hope that they don't live to rue it. But it seems simple. Get it out wide, get a cross in. Kiefer Moore's going to challenge, test the keeper.
Be more positive from a Welsh perspective there, just how easy it was just to get ball down the right hand side, whip it in. And Moore, he's back on his feet now, so he'll be waved on very shortly as Roberts has this throw for the Dragons, tries to play a short one down the line. It's been intercepted and cleared up towards halfway, and Asmoon gets a little flick on that one, but Wales have it back, and it's just volleyed forward further by Rode on this time, and then a headed clearance away by Hosseini. The ball is sort of bouncing around at the moment, no one can get hold of it. Out for a throw for Wales again on this right side as Moore trots back onto the pitch, getting himself a goal there as Roberts again has this throw. Like a foul throw, but gets away with it there, did Roberts, as he plays a little 1-2. Now it's with Bale. Bale then trying to twist and turn down the line, but he's matched up well then by Mohamed. He gets a foot in, puts it out for another throw for Wales. Nearly 14 minutes gone. Wales 0, Iran 0. As Roberts with a long throw in field then towards the feet of Davies. He miscontrols it though, and Iran have possession back, and oh dearie me, that's a poor out ball as Wales win it with Ampadu. Now it's with Moore, but then he stretches for this one, all a little bit scrappy. Then Ampadu tries to swing it out to Williams over his head and out for a throw for Iran. Very, very scrappy, that bit of play.
Yeah, that's. I just wonder if that chance for Wales has just knocked the confidence of Iran a little bit, because they were knocking it around quite comfortably before that, and then there's a couple of sloppy passes, and they're under pressure again, and Wales didn't quite capitalise. And like you said, it was just a little scrappy period of play, but that chance might just kick-start Wales into life. I thought they'd been relatively negative. Of course, if they were to lose this game, they'd have to beat England in their final game, so I think they're worried about not losing first and foremost as Iran try and break down the left-hand side. and try and create something, because Wales aren't going gung-ho here. I don't think they need to personally. Oh, that's a sloppy pass. Could be a chance here for Iran.
Yeah, towards the edge of the area, ball back in. Azmoun then squares it. Maybe an opportunity, and it is. It's in the back of the net, although I'm not sure if the flag has gone up or not on that far side. But Iran think they're ahead in this game. It's Ali Golizadeh who is just, well, put it in from around 4 yards out, unmarked, but absolutely terrible defending from Wales. Iran worked it really, really well. They kept their composure. It's touch and go whether Golizadeh is offside here. VAR will have a look at this one, but Azmoun and Taremi, they're involved in the play. Wales cannot believe this, but we will see replays of it now. As things stand, it's Wales 0, Iran 1.
Terrible pass from Roberts. I thought there's about 3 offsides in here. I'm not going to lie. I thought everyone was offside. Yeah, he's offside. The first one was tight, but when it's played back to Golizadeh, he's definitely offside. This is going to get chalked off. He's ahead of the pass. I mean, it was lovely sort of interchange, unselfish play, but this is going to be offside. It's going to be back to 0-0. And indeed, just been confirmed now. So I think it's been confirmed. The referee's got his hand in the air. The TV is telling me it's a check, but I think it's just been confirmed that offside has been given. Lovely play, lovely interchange, but I did think there was 2 or 3 offsides there, and I'm not even sure the first one wasn't offside, but the second one definitely was. And I wouldn't say a let off because he is offside, but obviously a warning for Wales.
Yeah, big warning there. It was just poor work at the back for them. And yeah, I mean, Azmoun's pass, you just think, I mean, it was unselfish, and if it was onside, then it would have worked brilliantly. But when he had that room in the box, you think, just have a hit, just have a strike at goal. You know, you're inside the area, just have a go at Hennessy. Incidentally, more now coming down the right-hand side for Wales towards the byline, just under pressure, holds it. Now it's played inside towards Bale, who has become Wales's all-time record cap holder in this game, 110th appearance. Oh, Bale goes down clutching his face. Free kick being given here to Wales, or was it a corner? I mean, didn't seem like there was much in that. It's Milad Mohammadi, the guilty party here. We'll see replays now. Oh, I mean, his elbow does slightly sort of bounce up and hit the underside of Bale's chin, but he goes down as if he's been punched in the face.
Yeah, no, it's a soft one. If a penalty came because of that, you wonder if VAR would overrule it. I'm not sure how VAR works these days. It's very soft, yes. If that was in the middle of the pitch and the contesting the ball, then it's obviously, you know, you just expect players to carry on, but it's not the way football's played. He's won a free kick in a very dangerous area. It's the first set piece that Wales have had. That obviously they've put in a cross that's led to that very good chance for Kiefer Moore, but they haven't been able to bring up Mep and Rodon Davis from the back to add more height into the box. And you know, it looks obvious that they've got the height advantage, so set pieces could be key in this game. They could be key for the first goal. They've got a pretty good one here.
Yeah, the referee has just had to stop the free kick coming in twice now because there's a lot of jostling going on. Bale's trying to have a word with Mepham. They're all obviously looking at Kiefer Moore as well. It's just a massive huddle inside the area at the moment. Yeah, Bale, 110th appearance, all-time record holder. Hennessy's got 108 now. He's just one behind the second all-time in the list for Wales. And again, the referee now is having a third go at the players. He's just stopped the free kick coming in once again. It's either going to be a penalty or a free kick here, I think, when it comes in, as Wilson does deliver it. Decent looking ball, and the keeper then gets a good punch away, actually. He's a little bit flappy, but he does well. Now it's Williams. He then scoops one into the area. This one's headed away once more. Not the greatest headed clearances. It's picked back up by Wilson. Plays it down the line then. Now Ampadu tries to put a ball in. It's a terrible one, though, and now Iran have got a chance to counter-attack here, and there's a little bit of space and room down this left-hand side for Golizadeh. Golizadeh then tries to play an inside pass. He gets away with it. Then the Iranian player falls down, but they're still coming forward. Shot from around 25 plus yards is easily blocked away. It was Nurulahi then with the effort. Again, it's just so frantic sometimes when Iran are coming forward, but also in the Welsh defence.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't looked necessarily confident, particularly when the ball's on the deck and Iran attacking, you know, on the floor. But I think Iran, for them, I think they're trying to overplay it. It looked as though Taremi was marked, but the ball was still thread into the box. Never going to get through to him. As Wales had a chance to clear, they didn't, but a cross comes in. There's a coming together in the box, but probably about as much as Bale and Mohammadi at the other end, but that's never going to be a penalty. And it's play on, it's cleared downfield, but yeah, it's gone a little bit frantic at both ends, I reckon. When the ball's in the box, neither side is overly confident, or they don't appear to be defending it at the moment. But it's from a Wales viewpoint, Hennessy hasn't really had to do anything, so in that sense they'll be quite relaxed, but they just need to tighten up a bit more, and if they get more possession, obviously it's more of a problem for Iran.
Yeah, as Wales do have possession down this right side as Roberts clips it down the line, but clips it straight out of play. I'm not sure if Roberts is just struggling a little bit. The camera's panned him a couple of times. He's been involved in a couple of challenges in the past few moments. To keep an eye on that one, but Iran have this throw just over the halfway line. It's with Mohammadi. He just goes back towards the teammate then in Nurulahi. Nurulahi swings it across towards Purulaganji. They work it up towards halfway. Dear me. Purulaganji has just smashed the ball forward. It's hit Golizada. Wales have possession back, and then, Golizada trying to get the ball back for Iran. Just flicks the ankles of Davies. Free kick given, which Wales take quickly. It's across now towards Mepham, out towards his right side for Roberts. Roberts then faced up against Mohammadi, then tries to play it down the line. Blocked out, but it'll be a throw. But yeah, certainly it feels like it's an even game between these two teams. Wales, of course, have had the best chance in terms of the legal chance, and Kiefer Moore was denied then when diverting Roberts' cross goalwards. Good save by the keeper. Iran did have the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside and rightly ruled offside. But now Iran are coming forward as again Wales sloppily give away possession. Then the little flick of the ankles then by Ampadu, and a free kick is awarded to Iran midway through Wales' half. I have to say, gone down quite easily there, has Raman Rezaian. Made quite a lot of it on the floor as well, but there's a few niggling challenges coming in, I would say.
Yeah, it's not been a dirty game, but yeah, he didn't even complain, did he, Ampadu? I just wonder whether they're just happy defending set pieces rather than open play, Wales. The biggest problem there, I thought, for Iran was possibly pulling the groin, because the standing foot was swept away and he was trying to turn back the other way, so might have overstretched. I know it caused me problems, but seemingly he's okay. But yeah, I think the set piece advantage is with Wales, and maybe they're tactical fouling, for want of a better phrase. They can defend set pieces better than sort of fast interchanging passes. Obviously they were undone for the goal that got chalked off, but ball into the box they might deal with.
Yeah, ball into the box, maybe a chance, and Azmoun gets his head to it first, but he just can't quite get up high enough. The ball sort of skims away. He's on the way down, I think, when the ball eventually gets towards him. But he rose highest, and it was Joe Rodon who just lost him for half a second there, and it allowed Azmoun with a chance to head one at goal.
Yeah, it's a decent chance, considering what we've seen aerially from Iran so far, but I think the ball's a little bit too high. But it's a good, it's a decent ball in, because as I've said, Wales look to have the advantage. They've had an effort at a goal on the back of that set piece, and it's a chance nonetheless. It was off target, never really threatened. Strong challenge down the left hand side, I think it was on Nico Williams, but he did look as though he got the ball, and thankfully the ref, given the free kick he gave to Gareth Bale a couple of minutes ago, he didn't see it as a foul, so he's not giving everything, every bit of contact. He did look to me as though he'd won the ball, and it's play on. Wales have it back with Hennessy at the moment, and Nico Williams is back on his feet.
Yeah, he's hobbling back into position as Wales give it away, or nearly give it away in their own box. Eventually they do, and a smashed clearance hits against the Iranian man, and out for a throw is, Nico Williams now is put his hand up. I think he's really, really struggling here. I agree with you. I think it was a good, strong challenge by Rezai in there, but it was one that you do still want to see in football. Let's see it again. He doesn't make any real... He doesn't sort of catch the feet or anything. He just collide into him. I don't know. It's just an impact injury, I think, on the right ankle of Williams there.
Yeah, I don't think he's got much of the ball. He's arguably got a little bit of the ball, actually. He's had the benefit of slow, but I don't think he's got much of the man either. And it's right on the touch line, and he's essentially tried to block Nico Williams' pass, and he stood there. So I think Nico Williams will be all right, physically at least, in this game. He's back on the pitch in the left back position at the moment. I think he's just trying to make it obvious to the referee. On another day that might actually be given as a foul, but I don't think there was much in it.
No, I'd agree with that. But 25 minutes gone now with this first half, past the midway point. Of course, there's probably a bit of stoppage time that will get added as we had in the World Cup so far. Wales 0, Iran 0. Rob will take you through to half time.
Cheers, James. And Wales are on the attack as Roberts goes down under pressure from Mohammadi. He's slow to get up, but the referee says no foul, and Iran try and break. Then there's a poor layoff from Taremi on the halfway line. Mohammadi was going to try and take a throw in, but it's actually gone the way of Wales. And Roberts, with a decent long throw, finds the head of Moore and flicks it into the path of Bale, but across comes Husseini and he's able to clear. Not a particularly good clearance because it's picked up by Amadou, feeds it to the edge of the box and Wilson, but a strong challenge comes in from Pourliganji, and Iran now break. It's fed up towards Azmoun, who's just got Rodon to beat. Good challenge from Rodon, and Williams should keep it in play. Nice Cruyff turn to get away from Azmoun. It's then trying to bring it away and goes down under pressure from Golizade. Now he's given this free kick, and to me, Nico Williams, it's right on the touchline. Nico Williams has essentially affected the contact because this ball is going into touch, but for some reason he's given that free kick. He didn't give the other one.
I mean, that's not a free kick, is it? Like you said, Williams has kicked the ball and he's not going to get there. And Golizade has just been strong, just got himself, put his body across Williams, who is maybe just sort of feeling the effects of a few challenges on him, but they're no means sort of bad challenges. But it looks as if Iran have got an issue here with Sada Azmoun just dropped down to the floor, and that would be a big blow because he has looked lively.
Yeah, he doesn't look overly happy. Obviously you wouldn't if you're injured, but it wasn't from a foul, so you're just wondering if he's tweaked something, he's pulled something, his his right leg ankle is getting stretched, could be both, who knows. But that would be a worry. Obviously they made the bold call to go two up top. Team Melli, Carlos Queiroz deciding that he's going to be a little bit more adventurous in this game, as you might expect, with all due respect. England are above Wales in the rankings, favourites to top the group, so he didn't want to, dare I say it, get beaten in the first game. As it turns out, England had a very good game and they were well beaten in the end. But Azmoun is just, I guess pouring water over his head would suggest that he's not that bad. It looked worse when he sat down out of nothing. If he's making sure his head's wet and cold, you'd think he's ready to come back on.
Yeah, don't really know what that was, whether he just felt something niggle slightly or tweak, no idea, but he seems to be alright. Just looking at the third out-and-out striking option Iran have in their side, Ansari Fard. It's not a bad international record either, 29 goals from 94 appearances. When you look at those top three, you think there's a lot of goals there.
Yeah, obviously plenty of goals. You wonder about the standard of opposition, perhaps, as Wales have possession. It's under pressure, though, in their own half. Ramsey, though, works it out to the right-hand side, and Wilson has it, tries to switch play out towards Nico Williams, so it turns into a sort of 50-50 header. Williams flicks it on, but to no one in particular. Iran try and break through Rezaïn, but he's overrun it. Ben Davies has come across and has shepherded the ball into touch. Throw into Wales, halfway inside their own half, with almost 29 minutes completed in this contest. Obviously Kiefer Moore missing, being denied a good opportunity as Bale goes for goal on the volley 30 yards out. He's barely made contact. That will dribble through. Much simpler save for Husseini there. But I suppose the big players haven't quite turned up yet for Wales. Bale and Ramsey. They haven't quite got involved as maybe Wales would expect them to.
No, and that was the issue I sort of alluded to, was where's the creativity coming from behind the likes of Bale and Moore, who's providing the service for them, and no one's really doing that. Ramsey, he's been very quiet in this game so far. Credit to Iran. I think whenever Ramsey gets it, they're getting close to him, they're not allowing him to look up and try and pick a pass, and Wilson on that left-hand side has been, well, pretty much non-existent for me. Williams has been getting ahead more than Wilson has, who now picks it up in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, 30 yards out, tries to slip it through to Kiefer Moore. It's a good stretching challenge from Hosseini, and Iran try and break. It's fed up towards Azmoun, but he took too long to locate the ball. Rodon stepped in to win it back for Wales, to work it swiftly out to the left-hand side, and Gareth Bale coming infield finds Ramsey 25 yards out. It was a poor first touch from Ramsey though, and has to hold off the challenge of Ezatalahi. He does so, but he's going back towards the halfway line. Now it's with Mepham out to Roberts on the right, back infield to Wilson. He's been forced away from goal at the moment, Wales. Ampadu plays it forward. He might just have been caught there as he it was a terrible ball because it was nowhere near Moore down the right hand side, but he was then caught, and this is one of those where trying to block the shot, the pass rather, boot comes out, and you catch Ampadu's boot. Obviously it's a little bit accidental, but you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, you do. You know, if I'm not going to get there, I'm going to get a bit of his inside of his foot. A little painful one for Ampadu, but it's a chance here for Wales, isn't it? I mean, absolutely. Since the Kiefer Moore chance for Wales, they've not done anything. They've not created anything. It's been disappointing from them, and you've got to give credit. I think 31 minutes gone, I think Iran have been the better side.
Set piece chance though for Wales. The line of Iran is trying to defend the edge of the 18-yard box, but it looks as though Rodon, Mepham are up from the back, probably Ben Davies as well. At the moment Mepham's a little bit offside, but the defence is expected to retreat as Ramsey puts the ball in. He doesn't beat the first man really, and it's volleyed away. Ramsey will give chase to retain possession back in his own half, and he's forced to go all the way back to Hennessy, who didn't take the most convincing first touch, but he is still able to clear up towards the halfway line. And now Williams switches play back to Ramsey. That's a good ball if Ramsey can keep it in, which he does, but it was actually quite difficult to control, and it allowed Mohammadi to come and close him down. Iran have won the ball back inside their own half. Lovely little flick has set Rezaini way down the right hand side. There's only two up. He's gone deep, high and hanging towards the far post. Taremi's scored two against England. It's probably been the least influential in this game from an Iranian viewpoint. Cleared away by Roberts, only to Mohammadi. Cross won't find Azmoun as Rodon's in the way. He finds Ramsey. Wales work the space and now have controlled possession deep inside their own half. But chances few and far between there, and I suppose if neutrally you wanted somebody to take a chance from an Iranian viewpoint, Taremi would be the man that you want on the end of things, but they're struggling to get him involved. Yeah,
they are, and I'm not sure Iran's sort of game plan of both chances there on the right and the left, they were crosses from deep, weren't they? And they were always looking to put a ball in, and you think there's only one person to aim for in there, and Wales are happy enough with the aerial balls into the box, with Rodon, Davies, Mepham. They're happy to defend that way. Iran, when they play it slick in the 1-2s, that's when they're better.
Cross comes in from Wales on the left. It's made its way all the way through to Roberts right at the D. It was behind the three in the box there, but Wales still have it. Played in towards Moore, but that's a well-shepherded run by Pourliganji, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Iran. It remains 0-0 with the game into the 34th minute. Chances few and far between, but still good ones for each side. Kiefer Moore denied, not quite point blank, but 6-7 yards out by Hosseini, of course, who's in for Invans. And at the other end, Golizade worked the 1-2 at the edge of the box, put it in the back of the net, but unfortunately he got a fraction too early for the return pass, and he was rightly judged to be offside. Other than that, a couple of shots from distance, nothing to get too excited about from a goalkeeping perspective. And these two sides effectively cancelling each other out. Saw the possession stats flash up moments ago. Is, you know, Wales are shading it. Obviously they have contested possession now, which it used to be just 2 numbers, now it's 3. But of the 3 numbers, Wales had 54%, and it doesn't strike me as a game necessarily that they've bossed possession-wise, but obviously those stats tell a different story. It's not obvious to me from what I'm watching that they're boss in possession.
No, I'd agree. I mean, I thought it would just be even, but I mean, Iran are trying to sort of counter a little bit as there's, well, some last-ditch defending there from Joe Road, and I tell you what, he had Azmoun right behind him there trying to get in as just a long ball forward, but Iran are working it from back to front quite quickly when they can, and they are looking to put the ball over the top of the defence on numerous occasions, and at the moment Wales are holding out, but I think Robert Page is probably sort of got me scratching his head a little bit, and I wonder if he's thinking he needs to change things up at half time if it remains 0-0 when we get to the break. Does he want a little bit more pace in the team? Maybe that's a game where Dan James would have been good in this.
A little under 10 minutes to go. That's of regulation of the first half. There might be some stoppage time. We've had a couple of injuries as Hosseini clears, the keeper that is, downfield. But Azmoun and Taremi are conscious of going offside, far too deep to threaten any kind of turnover. And Hennessy rolls in out to Mepham, and Wales has start again. Generally, Azmoun has been playing ahead of Taremi. Right at the moment, Taremi is the most advanced Iranian, although Wales have possession, of course, knocking it around amongst their defenders. Davis rode on out to Williams. A little bit of space for Gareth Bale, who tries to float it towards Robertson on the right hand side, but that's easily headed clear by Mohammadi, picked up there by Wilson. There's a run into the box which has created space for Williams on the left hand side, but it wasn't a great first touch. He's fighting to keep it alive and has done, not once but twice, but then again overruns it, and it's gone behind. Goal kick to Iran, with the Wales fans enjoying themselves at the moment. Might be a little bit nervous in the sense that they're struggling to break down Iran. This was, I guess, what people were thinking ahead of the England game. Iran would make things difficult, bodies behind the ball, an early goal helps. Wales haven't been able to do that, and Iran, of course, apart from the Moore chance, I'm trying to think of other chances that Wales have had.
No, they haven't. I mean, that opening there was probably the best one for them, but the touch from Nico Williams was absolutely dreadful, but it's not like it was a hard ball to control. He takes his eye off the ball when it comes towards him, which bounces away off his left foot, and it allows Iran to get a couple of challenges and eventually win possession back. But it's definitely not being good enough from Wales, and I think the difference is when England played Iran is England just worked the ball quicker. They were snappier in their play, and they were getting more bodies forward, so there was numbers, there was people for them to aim for, where at the minute Wales' game plan is try and get it out wide and whip it into more, which they still haven't done enough. You've got to give credit to Iran because they're holding it at the moment. What was it? 35 minutes they lasted before they conceded against England. 37 and a half now, so they've done better in that sort of aspect. But yeah, for Wales it's a bit of a worry, I think, this first half, but whether it's just be patient, wait for Iran's energy levels maybe to drop when they get further into the second half and maybe nick a goal then potentially, but there's not a lot to separate these two teams.
Yeah, that 35 minutes, in fairness, is a little bit distorted by the injury, of course, that took 10-15 minutes out of the game. So, I mean, obviously half-time has approached, there hasn't been nearly as much injury time to play. That's not to say there won't be some. Williams had a little injury, Kiefer Moore as well. Azmoun, so there might be time added on as Bale comes in down the left-hand side. Low cross turned away, back to him in fact. So he has a second chance to deliver a much better ball. Can't quite do it. Williams, though, is on the overlap and gets a cross in. The clearance from Purilaganji is blocked by his own teammate, and then it's come off Williams. He looked frustrated. There was a challenge coming at his blind side, I think, from Golazade, and he wasn't expecting that because Reziani was in front of him. And the referee has sided with Iran and said the last touch has come off Williams. It'll be a goal kick to Iran with around about 6 minutes to go of regulation time. The referee's just having a word with Hussein, the goalkeeper there. I don't know if there was something else or just to make sure that he hurries it up, but
yeah, it's twice he's had a word with him now, so I don't know whether there is a bit of gamesmanship coming in.
I mean, Iran need the win more than Wales. more so. They both could do with a win, obviously, but Asmoon's won a free kick only just inside the Wales half, but Mepham just wrestled him out of the way to challenge for that clearance downfield from Hussein Husseini. So free kick maybe 20 yards inside the Wales half. They've had an opportunity from a set piece, but it was Asmoon got on the end of it, couldn't quite control his header. It certainly wasn't gilt-edged, but he won a header from a free kick delivered into the Wales box. Haven't been many shots in the game, 3 apiece. 2 on target from Wales, just the 1 from Iran. Of course they did score, but correctly chalked off, so obviously that wouldn't count for the stats. Free kick about to be delivered, left-footed, deep towards the far post. Hennessy thought about coming, decides to not, and in the end, probably a good decision. Husseini arriving at the far post, it's just too far ahead of him, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Wales. They wasted little time in taking into the game into the last 5 minutes of this first period. Obviously we'll see whose desire is greater in the second. First halves can be cagey. I would argue that the second halves in this tournament so far have been the highest scoring. Obviously I think it was 3-0 England at the break, and of course there was 8 goals in that game for 1.
Yeah, it was 0-0 Portugal-Ghana, wasn't it? There was 5 goals yesterday in that match. Yeah, I think maybe teams, it's just they let loose a little bit and break the shackles in the second half. But well, we need something, don't we? Because it's not been the easiest watch at times.
Here come Wales. Kiefer Moore just forced a little bit wide, and on the follow-up Wilson got a shot which was blocked by Puriganji, which is looped over the bar. It looked to be well over the bar. I don't think Kiefer Moore was trying to control it into the path of Wilson, but that's exactly what happened, and it needed that sliding intervention, because that looked a decent strike from Wilson. The block was pretty much at source though, so difficult to work out if it was on target, but it's a set-piece opportunity for Wales with half-time approaching. They haven't had too many, and the ones they've had so far haven't led to too much danger. And the more chance came from open play. This one is a deep cross towards the far post, but Husseini jumps, climbs, and makes a solid claim under a little bit of pressure. Set piece is disappointing, I guess, like the first half on the whole.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. It's with the height that Wales have got, the delivery, the execution has got to be a lot better. You know, allow your teammates to attack it, and they've not done that. So certainly they need a reset. I think at the break to Wales, they need Page to have a word with them, either change things up. I mean, I just think they're lacking a little bit of quality on the pitch, but I think just lacking a little bit of pace maybe. But Brennan Johnson's on the bench. He's someone I think that could come on and make a difference. And I think Dan James, I think, could be eager, having started that game against the US, and now he's dropped to the bench for this one. A point to prove, but I think, yeah, James and Johnson are certainly 2 players that could come on and just give something different to this Wales side.
Yeah, it depends who you might take off in that regard. I mean, I would say the forward players haven't really done a lot. Wilson, Bales, Ramsey. Well, Ramsey's more midfield. I suppose Wilson is as well, but we're not seeing them on the ball that often. We talked about the possession stats, and of course Wales have had the Lions' share, so that would be a little bit concerning. Of course, if they were to draw Wales, that would be 2 points from 2 games. Obviously a point behind England, so they'd have to beat England to finish above England, and obviously it would depend what else happens as ball is floated into the Iran box. It doesn't quite fall for Kiefer Moore, and Team Melly can clear, but I think it's offside, or was it a foul? Either way, it's gone against Wales. So the free kick will be Iran's, just outside their own box. Yeah, Bale just went a fraction too early. It's actually Mohammadi won the header anyway. Well, I mean, I guess if Wales don't win this and America beats, can I call them America? Team USA beat England, then that puts an awful lot of pressure on Wales. Arguably, they should be doing more. We know Iran are going out if they lose.
I mean, I still don't think if Wales don't win this, I still think they are behind the 8 ball to save, because even if USA lose to England, I still fancy USA to beat Iran. I think they've got more attacking talent than Wales do. So then USA would be on 4 points, and then it would all be down on Wales in the England game to get the victory, which I don't think they will.
Yes, not on the evidence of this game, as half-time is almost upon us. We've got about, well, a few seconds left of regulation. As I say, we're expecting some minutes to be added on at the end. There have been 3 or 4 injuries, not major injuries, but enough to add some time on. But obviously chances few and far between. Whether we'll get one in the time that remains in this first half is debatable, but Williams is trying to do his best. Finds Ampadu. Bale back to goal, can't return it to Williams, who'd carried on his run into the middle. He's probably done the most running. He and Roberts have probably been the most sort of enterprising Wales players out there, the 2 widest players. Whether they've been wide enough, consistent enough, is open to question, but they're probably doing more than their teammates, other than Kiefer Moore, who's often peeled out to the left. He's dropped deep. I guess I'm hinting at a disappointment from Wilson, Ramsey and Bale, but 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've had about 30 seconds. Do we think that's going to change in the second half? I mean, do we think it's going to change?
I don't know. I'm looking at Wales' side and the options they've got about what could potentially they could do. At the minute, as the ball comes in from the right side, it's cleared away. I don't think there's a need for 3 centre-halves in there for Wales. I think you could take one of them off. You could drop Ampadu back into centre-back, and then you've just got the option to have another forward player on there. Just go 4 at the back. Like I said, you've got Johnson, you've got James to come on, so it's just a few more sort of enterprising players who've got a little bit more nous about them coming forward. You
ran have it with Golazade. Plays it down the channel for Taremi into the penalty box. He just trod on the ball momentarily, but still has possession. There's more defenders back than attackers, but Golazade has come up in support, as has Rezian on the right hand side, but 7-8 defenders back there. Ball comes in. Oh, there's an opportunity. Sliding in was Azmoun. Maybe Mepham did enough. It was not too dissimilar to Kiefer Moore's chance, other than the fact that the defender was a lot closer to the attacker. Running in late, it was just a fraction ahead of him, and he didn't quite get there, but there was alarm bells ringing at the back. That's a really good ball in, and again Rodon's just on his heels. It's a really just good little dart of pace by Azmoun. He just makes the run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. He just can't get there. I think any little touch on that, it probably diverts it into the far corner, but that's better. But again, it's still not quite a full chance. They didn't get on the end of it. There's no save for Hennessy to make, and it's the issue at the moment. There's not been enough for either keeper to do. Azmoun it was there. He's obviously showing no ill effects for that injury he had. We've gone more than halfway through the stoppage time. There's meant to be 4 minutes, maybe got 90 seconds left if that, as it's played downfield. Taremi will flick on. That's good running from deep, and it's forced the challenge from Mepham. This will be the game's first yellow card. I guess it's Rodon it was, not Mepham, I beg your pardon. But it was there. It looked like he had a chance to win the ball. He slid in, but once he hasn't got the ball, he's taken out Taremi, and I don't think we're expecting anything else. No, deserved yellow card, but it's miscommunication. So Rodon makes the challenge, knows he's fouled his man, and he gets up and he shows his frustration because the ball is played down the line, and Roberts doesn't know where Taremi is because he doesn't turn around quick enough and try and get that loose ball, which allows, when he does turn around, Taremi's there running across to get it, and then Rodon's got to come over and make that rash challenge. Last opportunity you'd feel before the end of the half. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Rodon did actually get there. He just missed the ball and swung through Taremi, sliding in. Again, the defensive line is on the edge of the 18-yard box. Iran have probably looked at fractional. The delivery's been a little bit better on these positions, given the aerial advantage that Wales have had. Have arguably shown more threat from set pieces so far. Delivery's not bad. It's headed down, just teed up, edge of the box. So Taremi's under pressure as he shot, although the clearance from Moore is blocked by his own teammate, and it will be kept alive by Paul Laganji. He digs out across towards the penalty spot. It's hooked away by Wilson. Shot comes in, 35 yards out, bounced in front of Hennessy, and it was a comfortable claim in the end. Could have been awkward. Nur Elahi with the strike, ambitious as we go into the 5th minute of stoppage time. That's beyond the 4, of course, but just late drama at the end for Iran.
Don't know why they didn't shoot. I think it was Asmu the ball came to in the box. But he passes backwards. Why does he not just wrap his foot around it and have a go?
That is the end of the first half. Drama at times, but largely two sides cancelling each other out. At the break, it is Wales 0, Iran 0.